Today we are sponsored by Infinite CBD. Infinite CBD is a 99.99% THC-free company. It's organically grown CO hemp, which is run through ethanol extraction to get you CBD isolate. So it still works for people who are sober. It works for anxiety. I take it when I get home from performing to come down from shows. When I need to relax and just chill out, it really makes me feel good. I personally love the gummies, the CBD gummies, which you can get on their website, infinitecbd.com. They taste really good, and they are 25 milligrams of CBD each, and they're really dope. And if you guys want 10% off, please use code SKIDMORE10. That is SKIDMORE number 10 to get 10% off. And we are also sponsored by Caveman Coffee. Caveman Coffee makes the most incredible cold brew. It's infused with nitrogen, and you can get it on Amazon, on their website. It's the amount of 3 espresso shots in one can. And, you know, I take the CBD to come down at night, and I take the Caveman Coffee to get the zing in the morning. And it's it really wakes me up a lot, and it's powerful. And, you know, I just keep them in my fridge and pop a fucking plastic straw right in them and drink them. So check out Caveman Coffee and Infinite CBD. Welcome to the Chelsea Skidmore Show. I'm here today with my guest, comedian Brian Simpson.
That's right, it's me.
Brian, thank you for coming on.
Of course, I'm a podcast whore.
Yeah. What other podcasts you been fucking?
Oh, I mean, I have my own. I just did Carmen's.
I didn't know she had one.
Yeah, they do this gripes thing where people just bitch about stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Man, I forget. Oh, and I just did Arthur Hamilton's podcast.
Nice.
I forget the name of that. Oh, it's called Fuck Religion, Politics, and Kanye.
Nice.
WFKPC radio or something.
Love it. And yours, and you, what's your podcast? Just so we could shout that one out too.
BS with Brian Simpson. Yeah.
Bullshit or Brian Simpson with Brian.
Whatever it means to you. Whatever it means to you. Yeah.
But you do yours by yourself.
Yeah. Just because I had done podcasts before with other people, and the main reason I was doing it with other people was because I was intimidated by learning how to do the audio stuff and posting it and all that bullshit I didn't want to do. But then it's like if you have somebody doing all that work, you have to give them all the say too, you know. So then I was like, I don't want to argue about creative stuff. I want to just be a dictator with that. So
I know that feeling.
Yeah.
I like to be in charge.
Yeah.
Well, it's hard to like. I always like wonder if I shouldn't say I don't like working with other people sometimes because I feel like that sounds bad. But like, I like obviously working with other people, but sometimes like I feel like I want things a certain way.
Yeah. I mean, I love having a team, but I want to be the leader of the team.
Yeah. Maybe that's a better way to say it.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. When it's stuff that I don't feel comfortable with or that I'm not an expert in, then I'll fall back. Like, I'd rather somebody tell me what to do. But when it's like stuff where it's like, no, I know what I'm talking about, then I'm not trying to argue with you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, have you ever written like a script with someone?
Yeah, I've definitely tried to do that. That was a mistake too.
So that's what I'm thinking about.
Yeah, and I've had. Well, I did that once, and again, it was the same thing. I didn't know what I was doing. I was intimidated by it. And then I let somebody else like make the bare bones, and then they just sort of ran with it. And then I had to be arguing with them about ideas with my idea. You know what I mean? That's always like my fear is like when someone's like, oh, do you want to write something together? And you like the person, but you're like, I don't know if we're going to match. No. That's a scary feeling. Just from now on, I realized like things you just have to, the terms have to be upfront. It's like, listen, if we can write together, but you're writing for me. We're not writing with each other. Like, you're doing this for me, because it's got to be clear, like, who's in charge. Like, I've just learned to get the uncomfortable truth out the way, so I don't got to be telling a comfortable lie for like a year or two. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Making you feel better. I'd rather just be awkward for like a few minutes than just.
You're so right about that. Just like get it over with.
Yeah, because most of the time the what you're imagining the confrontation to be like is 1,000 times worse than what's actually going to be like.
That's true.
Yeah, so I just rather rip it up. Like, I just went through something with a roommate where the one of the bills, the electric bill, was in his name, and long story short, he wasn't paying the motherfucker. He was taking everybody's money and not paying the bill.
Damn.
And I feel bad for the guy too, because before I lived where I live now, like, I was in a homeless shelter, and I barely just got on my feet, and I'm at the point where, like, I'm on my way up.
Yeah.
And he's struggling, like, he just got fired, and it was all of this stuff. But the thing is, instead of just being honest with everybody and telling us he ain't have it, he was just bullshitting and like using our power bill money to like stay afloat.
Yeah. And he was taking all that money and not even paying the electric?
No. He was making minimum. He was, because the way I found out was he sent a group text to the house, right? And told everybody, hey, the bill's in, it's a couple $100. Everybody's portion is, this much, $55 or whatever. And then like a few days later, I was checking the mail and the power bill was in the mail. And I was like, he just told us the power bill just came in.
Yeah.
How the fuck is it here now? Like, I'm holding it. So I opened it and it's like
$1,000.
Right. It was like months past due.
Fuck.
And it was like the last payment he made was like $30.
So what are you going to do? How did that get resolved?
I mean, I just,
Who had to pay that?
It still hasn't been resolved.
Yeah.
But he paid enough to where he wasn't going to get the power cut off. But and I don't know what the other roommates are doing. Maybe they feel sympathy or whatever. But for me, it's like, and I had to explain it because he's one of those guys that I guess he came from somewhere where, like, I don't even know how to explain it. It's like Arrested Development. It's like,
yeah, I do.
In some ways, he's still like a teenager.
I know a lot of people like that.
And it's like, bro, and I try to tell him, like, bro, see, you didn't want to tell us you ain't had the money because that was going to make you uncomfortable. But now you way more uncomfortable because you standing in front of everybody asking you where the fuck their money went. What I mean? And so it turned into that kind of situation. And I'm like, I was already going to move out anyway, but I don't have any sympathy.
But you have compassion for him.
Oh yeah, I mean,
which is amazing.
I feel for him, but at the same time, it's like, once you try to play me, I'm not going to show you compassion.
Yeah,
I have it for you. I feel for you, and I'm not going to try to hurt you, or I'm not going to sue you, or none of that. But I can't trust you because that tells me, like, as soon as we ain't friends, when you get desperate and you try to screw me over because you desperate, then we ain't friends.
Yeah, you can't be trusted.
Nah, I'm never going to let you. No.
I actually was living with a girl and her mom was paying her rent. And this is when we were in college, like 10 years ago. And I didn't know this, but her mom was never paying the electric bill. And I was paying for everything. And I eventually calculated everything because I'm really bad at math. And I didn't notice. And I got in like a huge fight with her mom. And I was like telling her mom off.
Wait a minute. So wait a minute. You were roommates with this girl. Her mom was paying her rent.
Yeah. And her mom was lying.
So who was her mom? The landlord?
No, I don't remember. I just had a similar situation, I guess.
Oh, so her mom was taking your half of the bills, but
she was never paying the electric that was like added on to the rent. Like it was included. I don't know.
Wow. So then what happened? The power got shut off?
No, because it was like added to our rent, but it was like an additional amount we had to pay to the landlord.
Oh, and she just wasn't doing it.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, fucking bitch.
So what about her? What about her daughter?
We're not even friends anymore. We've been up and down.
But so why wasn't the daughter covering the rest?
I have no idea. She like kind of ignored it and like didn't say anything. I think she was like I don't know. It was weird. Man. She's scummy.
Yeah,
I didn't have compassion.
And it's like when you young, when it's your first go, maybe you got to learn, because everyone's had a shitty roommate. Everyone's been a shitty roommate. Matter of fact, I don't think you can be a great roommate. I don't think you can be a great spouse, right? Without having been a shitty roommate first, right? Whereas like, because at some point you have to have that growth where you look back and realize, oh shit, I did this to Tom.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, like I can't even believe how bad I was as a roommate. Like, because when I look back at my first couple times living with people, I'm like, oh man, I was awful.
Yeah. How were you a bad roommate?
Just in little ways that
be honest.
Like just not like assuming that I'm doing more than everyone else, or like using, because it's like that's a big thing with roommates where you only see the work you do and you don't see what everyone else does, and so you just always assume that you're doing all the cleaning.
So you were self-righteous?
I was self-righteous, right? And I was dismissive of the things that bothered them. You know what I mean? I guess maybe the worst thing I had to learn was to always use the toilet brush.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I don't know why it was a thing that I just couldn't. It was a thing that I just never did.
Yeah.
And then one day somebody was like totally, because something else I realized is like somebody that really cares about you will tell you the truth. Like like if it's something you need to know.
Like Brian.
Yeah,
you have to clean up.
Yeah, hey bro. Yeah, I don't want to see your fucking doo-doo streaks in the toilet, man.
How could you leave that with roommates?
I don't know.
You just didn't look?
I just something that never had occurred to me till somebody checked me.
It's like the Batman sign. You just wanted to let them know you were there. Like you were just leaving something, or like how.
I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking, because I guess I don't know. I have no idea what I was. It was just I just wasn't thinking. Yeah. But actually the number one thing I had to learn was, because any aggravating thing you do might, could cause tension in your relationship, in your roommate-ship or whatever. But when it's financial shit, you gotta let everybody know what's going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, no matter how embarrassing it is or whatever, because I've had roommates where it's like we're both struggling and we told each other the truth, and then this happened to me twice, and then we pooled our resources together and fucking survived for another few months. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas like a motherfucker waiting until the rent's due and then telling you they don't have it, knowing damn well they knew they wasn't gonna have it 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
That's what causes tension. Where it's like, tell me what's going on.
Yeah, be upfront.
Yeah. Cause let me plan at least for this financial hardship you try and drop on me.
I'm so glad I don't have to deal with roommates. And Steven is technically a roommate.
Yeah, but that's. I mean, I guess
it feels like sometimes when he eats all my food and doesn't clean up, he becomes a roommate.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, only once have I lived with
someone you were dating.
Someone I was dating seriously. I mean, I have. That's another thing. I have made a mistake of moving in with roommates and then sleeping with one of them. That's a bad.
Oh my God! Yeah.
Yeah. Don't. Ever,
did it get weird?
I saw it coming and I just left.
Wait, what?
I saw it coming and I just.
left. I think you said I start coming and then I just left. I was like, wait, what?
No, because it was just a temporary thing. Oh, so
did you stop talking to them?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Damn, you just ghosted her.
No, it wasn't, because back then ghosting wasn't a thing.
Really?
No, it wasn't ghosting, but
so it didn't have a term, you mean?
Right. Well, no, because it wasn't. It was like, I think it was just a mutual.
Understanding.
Like, it was like, we made a mistake and it's never going to be the same. And that's just.
Speaking of ghosting, there's a new term now called cloaking. Have you seen that?
Oh my God, nah. What's that?
I fucking forgot. I should look it up.
What's
you look it up. My phone's charging. Thank you. Yeah, I saw it online somewhere. There's like a new thing called cloaking. I think it's when you're talking to someone on a dating app and then you just stop talking to them. Do you see it?
But no, isn't that ghosting? Cloaking is the latest term to describe an objectively horrible dating trend. Cloaking is when a person doesn't just stand you up for a date. They also block you on any app that you previously communicated on.
Oh, what a weird.
Whoa.
Yeah. So I guess you're dating someone and then you just block them and everything.
Yeah, but you know what? I'm with that.
Have you ever cloaked?
I've cloaked somebody that I broke up with.
Yeah, that seems like a normal. That's just called breaking up with someone.
Right, but I think the difference is though when you break up with somebody,
there's a conversation.
Well, both of y'all know that it's over. Whereas like cloaking is more like we went on a date, we had a good time, maybe we had sex or whatever. But I thought we was hitting it off, and then boom, I just don't hear from you. And now not only don't I hear from you, but now you've blocked me on everything.
You got cloaked.
Yeah, but I guess at the same time it's like that doesn't affect me. I can imagine how it affects like millennials,
a girl,
like young millennials, and like especially women, right? Because it's like being blocked is a huge deal to people that come up on social media. You know,
yeah,
it's like you blocked me,
yeah,
right? It's like a digital restraining order or something.
If you've gone on a date with someone and you didn't like them, do you explain to them why you don't want to go out with them again? Have you ever had one of those kind of awkward conversations
where they need closure
afterwards? If they're like, I don't get, has the girl ever been to, like, I don't get what happened, or like,
yeah, and I've just learned to just be honest. Like, hey, look, I'm just not feeling, you know, we just don't have the chemistry, you know, whatever. I mean, I don't need to critique you. Go to therapy or something, you know.
Yeah.
But it's like, I'll be honest. Like, I don't feel the vibe, you know.
Mm-hmm. Are you on dating apps?
No.
Yeah, I hate.
No,
them.
I was on Tinder for maybe a week when it first came out, just like before they had super likes and all that. Right?
I don't even know they had that.
Super likes.
I'm not. Yeah.
Yeah. Now it's like a thing. I guess it just means more than a like. I don't know. And I was on Tinder when it first came out for like a week because everyone was on it. It was like a trendy thing, and I was on it, and it just. Well, first of all, the only people I ever met. So I started out like just feeling like this isn't me. Like I'm being like this superficial like. Yes, no, yes.
It's
no.
Like hot or not.
Right.
Remember
It just
that?
didn't feel it's not me. And then two, the only people so finally I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna see if this works. And I just swiped. Is left good or bad? Left is yes.
Left is a no. Right is yes.
Okay, so I swiped. Are you sure?
Swiping right is like yes.
Okay, so I swiped right on everyone.
Yeah.
Because that's what
I hear that from every
that's
guy.
That's what I was told. Just swipe right on everybody and see who. So I swiped right on so many people that are like I got through everyone in my area that was in my thing. And then the only people I heard back from were hookers.
Oh.
Yeah. So it was just
you could tell, or they made it obvious.
Or cam girls. No. Yeah, you can tell because you get the notification that somebody. That you match with somebody, and you go to their profile, and their first picture is like a regular picture, and then their second picture is like, go to my website to see my fucking, you know what I mean? And it's like, so it was just a frustrating thing for me, and I was just like,
and did you go to that website?
No. and I realized like Tinder doesn't make dating. Tinder only makes dating easier for people it's already easy for. You know what I mean? It's not like when you gonna hop on Tinder and all of a sudden. You're gonna start getting all of these. You're not gonna get on Tinder and get anybody that you couldn't get on the street.
To me, Tinder had such a bad connotation from the start. Yeah. You know, like it. I signed up for it. I remember I deleted it after like 20 minutes. There was something I think about the design of it that just felt like creepy.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I've heard of other apps though that sound, I guess, like a better premise.
Raya.
No, I never heard of that. What is that?
Raya is it's like the celebrity one.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
And do you have to prove you're a celebrity?
Well, it's like for hot girls or like celebrities or like
so
rich guys or like famous people
or
like
blue check on
executives.
Instagram.
Yeah, they look you up on Instagram and you have to get two people like checking out for you.
No, there was Bumble.
Yeah.
Whereas like the women on Bumble, women have to contact you, and that's the only way.
Yeah.
And then I think there was
Hinge.
No, what's that?
Hinge, I think, is the one, and I could be wrong, where it like looks up people like who have stuff in common with you or mutual friends or something, or like similar locations or something.
Wow.
It's something in common.
I wonder if there's an app for people that are like into BDSM or whatever, where they like set something up where it's like, I want somebody to sneak up on me, and you know what I mean. and so it's
is that the app that you wish there was for you personally?
Just for my
is that what you're into?
For my comedic satisfaction, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I would, because I would just feel super uncomfortable with like sneaking up on somebody.
Yeah.
Like that I didn't like talk to first.
Right.
But I wouldn't be surprised if that shit exists.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of like a fetish app.
Yeah, because it's like, because people are into like rape fantasies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Right? But usually it's still someone that you know for sure isn't gonna. Or I guess that's not true, but.
But then you don't know if it's really the person from the app or not.
Right, but that's the fear that people get off on. I think like they set it up and be like, yo, just
app or real rape.
This is what I'll be. Just start chasing me.
Only meeting in dark alleys.
Right, or just catch you after class or something.
Yeah,
Julie. No, that wouldn't fly. Because there's an app where you can just meet up and fight.
What? Like a Fight Club app?
Yeah, there was
for guys.
And maybe it's not there anymore. But for like, I remember a couple years ago, it was there. Yeah, well, you could just be like, yo, who want to throw hands? I'm gonna be at this corner. You know what I mean? And
do you know anyone who was on that?
No,
that's crazy.
I don't know anybody that
made by meth addicts for meth addicts, or whoever the fuck,
or people just aggressive to just need to get it out.
Yeah.
But they're like, yeah, let's fist fight. Let's meet up at this corner and fist fight. It's like
that's crazy. I doubt that lasted long. Fight Club.
I don't know, because I'm sure people had a problem with it.
Yeah.
And the thing is too, some people don't know how to not go too far, so I'm sure somebody died.
Yeah. I'm gonna look that one up. So Brian, you're a comic. You've been at the store for how long? Well, you worked there first. You were a door guy first.
Yeah, I was a door guy.
But not for very long.
No, like 5 or 6 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
6 months. And then, but you became a paid regular pretty soon after that.
No, it was actually, I think 2 years after that.
Was it really?
Yeah,
it felt like so much sooner.
Yeah, because I started working there in like May, it was June or something. 2016.
Yeah.
And then I got fired in December.
Why'd you get fired?
I mean, I wasn't very good at the job.
Yeah.
Even though, I mean, it doesn't take much to be good at the job. But I was just, the medium story is that I was having I was having sleep problems. You know?
Oh.
And at the time, I was in this homeless shelter for veterans. And
Yeah.
I was like just dealing with a lot of like personal health and mental health stuff, you know. And I was just barely there, you know, like mentally.
Yeah.
And I kept sleeping. Like actually one time when I first started working there, I thought that I got somebody to cover my shift, and I had a gig, and then by the time they called me, I was too far to come.
Yeah.
So they were like, "Oh, don't worry about it. It happens." Blah 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 blah. And then another time, I was like, I overslept, and I was like 2 hours late.
Yeah.
And they were like, all right, well, we got to write you up. Like, if this happens again, we're going to have to let you go. You know, it's a trend, you know. Yeah. And then I remember one night I was on these new meds that, like, made me a zombie.
Which one? Seroquel?
No, it was an antidepressant.
Remeron?
No. Damn, I don't even remember off the top of my head.
But the side effect is that it makes you really drowsy. Gabapentin?
No, because it was a common joint.
Zoloft?
No, or is Zoloft the brand name for something else? Because the VA gives you the generic shit; they don't give you the brand.
Okay,
shit. But whatever it was like it made me drowsy. That was and I was already not sleeping because I had sleep apnea. Right? Okay, and sometimes I sleepwalk, but that's a whole nother thing. So I was on this meds, and then in the shelter I was living in, they had this thing where like you had to do these group therapy things. You had to do so many a week.
That's good though.
Right. But the problem is they only did them during the day. Like it wasn't catered for people that worked at night. You know what I mean? So they only did them during the day. So what I would do is I would just wait all week, and then on Tuesday I would stay up all night because I would get off work at the store and stay up all night and go to the first one in the morning and just do them all in one day. So I didn't have to do them the rest of the week.
So you were fucking exhausted.
Well, yeah, but it was either that or like do them get up 3 hours early for work every day so I could do one every day.
Yeah.
Anyway, the point is, I did that and I got scheduled to work at the store that Wednesday, which I normally didn't because they was filming for Roast Battle. And so I had been up. I had all that shit working against me. I'd been up all night. And I was just gonna go to work. I wasn't going to go to sleep. And then I turned on the shower and I laid on my bed to wait for the water to get hot. And then I woke up and it was like 3 a.m. And I had like 15 missed calls. Like, where are you? You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And I already knew they was gonna fire me right there.
Yeah.
Because I just didn't come. You know. Anyway, but it wasn't like because they weren't even pissed. Like they knew what was up, but they was like, we have to let you. We can't just let you not get away with that. You know.
Yeah.
So, but they still fuck with you. But when you get fired, you're banned. You automatically get banned no matter what you get fired for. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, if you get fired, if you quit, you're fired. But if you get fired, you automatically can't come to the store for 3 months.
That's so stupid.
And you can't get spots for 6 months.
Oh.
No, because it sounds stupid at first, but when you think about it, it's to deter. Because if you could get fired and still get your spots, you wouldn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like there's gotta be a penalty for getting fired. You know, so I guess that's how they see it. But they still fuck with me. So like, and then right after my 6 months was over, I started getting spots again. Anyway, I got fired in December, and then I got to come back getting spots in June or July, and then I got past the following June. And
when you got past, were you like super excited?
Yeah, I was. I mean, it was kind of mixed emotions, but I learned a big lesson from it because I've been told that I was going to be on the next showcase.
Yeah.
And name day where they paint the names on the wall, that's in July, right? Or is it June?
I don't know when it is.
Whatever day it was, whatever month it was. I've been told I was going to be on the next showcase that that December. And then all year they hadn't even had one. And then it was coming up on name day and they still hadn't had one. And so I thought that they were just fucking with me.
Uh-huh.
Like, why would you say I'm gonna be on the next showcase and then it's not a showcase? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I was just all pissed off and like down all about it, because I was like, I'm gonna kill this showcase. Like I was so ready. I was like practicing my, and then Adam called me and was just like, hey, I'm just gonna pass you.
Wow.
Yeah, like 2 days before.
Did you tell him you were pissed?
No.
You just didn't say anything.
I never complained. I never complained to Adam. No. But yeah. So like 2 days before, so not only was I stressing about something that was out of my control, but I learned that lesson where it's like, because I got lucky too, because my name got painted on the wall like 2 days after I got passed. Right. But then the thing is like a lot of things happen. A lot of times when things feel like they ain't happening for you in this industry, it's like people are saying your name behind the scenes. People that never talk to you, people that never tell you that that's what's happening, and you're being considered for things and you don't even know.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. So it's like I learned to just not even, because the reasons people have for picking you or not picking you are so, some are good, some are bad, some are crazy, some are stupid, some are antiquated. But you can't try to make rhyme or reason of it. You know what I mean? Because there's 10 people weighing in on shit. Some of them know what they're doing. Some of them don't. Some of them know how they run this shit like it worked in the 70s and some. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like you just can't be. I don't really stress about it as much as I can help it. I don't stress about like getting chosen and shit. No. Plus, the store is the only place where getting picked, I felt, was based on my comedy, and they didn't care if I had anything else. They didn't care if I had representation. That shit. They just thought I was funny.
What I've noticed, what's good about you and how you use your time is, so when most people get past, most of the time they're, at the end of the lineup later, in more workout spots. And I've noticed that, and what I like that you do your material. Because some people don't spend their time like doing anything. They just talk to people, or they like yell at the crowd, but I've noticed that even though like most people are like tired by that time and it seems like the crowd is dead, you always get them. And then everyone starts listening, and you have a way with your performance and your jokes too that are I think like cerebral.
Yeah.
And they seem very like thoughtful, and it makes people just want to like pay attention to hear what you're thinking. And it's a cool thing that I feel like I haven't noticed everyone having. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's kind of like you kind of have to like lean forward and listen to because you're very like calm, and I guess sort of low energy, but you're saying stuff. So you really have to focus and listen to. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, that's just how I was when I started. And I've just, I just never think about it. I just when I started doing stand up, I started with this storytelling.
Oh, really?
Organization in San Diego called So Say We All, and they were like dabbling in stand up, so they booked me on their stand up show that was like 3 months away, and that's when I started comedy. Like I started going to open mics to get ready for that show.
This is San Diego.
Yeah.
And how long ago was that?
That was in 2011.
So 8 years ago?
Yeah, 8 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah. And they what they normally do is they get people to put that write stories and like perform the stories, and
like The Moth,
right? And but except better, and they'll put you with a performance coach and all of those things.
Oh, wow!
And the performance coach they gave me was like this master poet. She reminded me of the Oracle from the Matrix. That's what I call her, the Oracle. And when I first met up with her, we were in a coffee shop, and she was like, "Okay, now do your routine." And I was like, and I was trying to talk to her like, okay, so the joke is about this. She was like, no, do it like you would do it on stage. You know what I mean? I'm like, in this coffee shop, and I did it, and she was like, "You're a natural."
Wow.
She was like, don't think about your body, don't think about how you look, don't think about how you sound, just talk.
I love that.
And that's the most powerful advice for a long time, that was the most powerful advice I'd ever gotten, was just don't even worry about your anything
performance.
Just talk, because you're doing all those things naturally. And she's the one also that told me to like to like adjust things.
Like what?
Like when I get on stage, I don't just start. I always move stuff around. Like
you do?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
No matter where it is, I'm gonna move it. Like there's no way you can put it where it's gonna be perfect. And that's the thing where you're like.
What do you mean?
Like
a drink in front of you on the table, the mic stand,
the stool. It's because the effect it has on the crowd is like you look like a professional. Like you want things just so. Like the same. It's like the same effect it has of somebody, like you at a pool hall and somebody pulls a pool cue out of a case and fucking puts it together. It's like,
then they suck. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, yeah, you can suck, but it's like, it makes people think before you hit that ball. Everybody's like, "Oh, this motherfucker's serious." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's the same.
Oh,
thing
that's so
like,
interesting.
When people see you move it, like, no, I want things exactly thus. And sometimes I just move it back. But they don't notice that. They just see me.
So, what do you personally adjust?
I always move the stool, and I always move the mic stand.
I do that too, but I didn't notice. Well, I moved the mic stand because I want it out of the way so I can have space on the stage.
Right.
I hate when people don't fucking move it.
Well, I'm always like I'm paying only attention to those things. Like I'm not like some comics go up and they whip it out of the way and they're right at but I'm like I'm looking at it. I'm not even paying attention to the crowd. You know what I mean?
That's interesting.
I moved because like my first like 10 seconds are like I want things to be exactly.
Is that a grounding technique?
I don't know. It's because she didn't tell me to do it for that reason.
Yeah.
But I think what she told me was
establishing your space.
Right. It helps you take ownership of the space. But I've just noticed that that's the effect it has. Is people go, oh shit, because sometimes people will be laughing before you say anything.
Yeah, and that's also like with clowning.
Yeah.
The whole goal is to get a laugh without even saying anything when you get on the stage.
Yeah. Did you take that class from that guy?
I didn't, and I want to.
I keep hearing about
from a Lyric Hyperion.
I don't know.
I have the email of the guy.
Okay, I keep hearing about this class. Everyone's talking about taking this.
It sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Everyone says it's really great, and I hear it's very hard.
The only person that I know that has taken it is Ahmed.
Yeah, me too. We talked about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I wonder if it would be great for me because it seems like such a.
I feel like it's probably helpful for any performer. Like, why not? You know?
Right. Just get a laugh without saying anything.
Yeah, I mean, that's like one of like I think a ton of stuff that they do. What else did she teach you? It seems like she had good.
No, well, I mean, she's given me a lot of advice.
Yeah.
Over the years, but
do you still stay in touch?
Yeah, a little bit, like on Facebook. Cause she does poetry like for a living.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. She performs it. She's a beast too. But I think that's really the main stuff that she told me is just be. Oh yeah, she also told me to enunciate. You know, to like use my whole vocabulary and not just don't always go for the low hanging fruit. You know, like it's okay to like show that you're intelligent. You don't have to play dumb.
Yeah.
You know?
I like that.
Yeah, but she told me a lot of stuff. I can't remember it all, but I've written it down somewhere.
So, where'd you grow up?
Stacy Dyson, that's her name.
What up, Stacy?
She ain't gonna listen to this. Oh, maybe she will. Shit, I don't know. I grew up in D.C. Well, no, I lived in the city of D.C. till I was like 6 or 7, and then I was a foster kid in PG County from like 7 to like 11 or 12, and then.
Did you in multiple homes or?
No, well, from 7 to 11, I was in the same house.
Okay.
Then I moved in with my dad for like a year and a half or something like that, and then I was back in foster care from like 13 or 14 till I was 18. And I was probably in like 5 or 6 more homes after that.
Did you do you stay in touch with any of the foster parents, or like did they have other foster kids there?
Yeah, I love all my mamas. Well, 2 of them are passed away. 2 of them passed away. One of them I kind of lost touch with. The other one, yeah, I call her every now and then. And it was wild. It's like she was always juicing and fasting and cleansing when I was like, 13. And now I don't even know how old she is. She probably like 70 something.
Yeah.
And she's the same. She looks exactly the same.
Whoa.
She talks exactly the same. Like she does everything the same.
So she looks young.
Yeah.
Wow.
And she sounds young, and she says energetic, and it's like she's never been like overweight or anything. Like
did she make you eat like
nope.
really? Oh, just her?
She didn't make us do anything.
Yeah.
She was just like, I'm going to set the example. If you want to be a piece of shit, you do whatever you want to do. So she didn't make us do nothing, but she would always, like, I think once a month she would fast for a week.
Wow, that's crazy.
Just discipline. Hardcore discipline.
Wow.
And she made us like make our beds military style and stuff like that. But that's the only thing she made us do. She was like, but she was just, her whole thing was like, you can choose to be whoever you want to be. So if you want to be a man, be a man. If you want to be lazy, be lazy, but you ain't gonna say you got it from me.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't even know what she did. I don't even know what she did for money.
Really?
Nope. I don't know that much about her at all, honestly.
So was that for the younger one or for the second?
She was my first foster parent after I lived with my father.
Well, I guess you were Oh, so when you were like in high school.
Right. Well, no. Yeah. She was my. Was it high school? No. I was in 8th grade when I moved in with her. Yeah.
Did you have brothers and sisters?
Yeah, I got brothers and sisters. Yeah.
Were they with you?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. My brother was with me in the first home, but that lady was his grandma. We have different dads.
Okay.
And that lady was his dad's mom. But she's also a foster mom.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And then when my dad was like, I want my son, you know.
Yeah.
And she was like, you know, of course she wasn't gonna let her grandson go with my dad, you know. And I don't think my dad was trying to get him either anyway. But so then we got split up, and it was just the worst choice I ever made in my whole life.
What?
Is moving in with my dad over staying with my brother's grandma.
Really?
Yeah, because she was an asshole. Like she was a cunt for sure, but it was just a better situation. Because she was a great
caretaker.
She was a great parent, and right. She was a great caretaker. Like she always, you know, we was never hungry. We had 3 square meals a day. We had church. We went to church every Sunday. You know, there was never, you know, she was just a tyrant. But she made sure like you always had a birthday party. You always had Christmas presents. Like she did all the
grandma stuff.
Like if you looked at her house, if you looked at what she did on paper, she would check most of the boxes. But she just wasn't like caring. You know what I mean? She was cold. Yeah. Not only was she cold, but she was mean. You know, she was just very like stern and hard about everything. Like I don't think she ever told me she loved me or hugged me or any of that.
Wow.
You know.
Yeah.
But she always made sure you had everything you needed, and it was just a better environment. Yeah. Yeah. But you know, you can go back and what if your whole life. You know. Yeah. Things might not have been better, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then after high school,
After high school, I
were in the Army?
Marine Corps.
Yeah, okay.
Actually, I dropped out of high school.
Okay, so you dropped out of high school
dropped out of high school, got my GED. Got caught with a bag of weed from the cops that was harassing us like they did every damn day. Yeah. And then I was like, oh man, I gotta get the fuck out of this place. Like I didn't know what I was doing. Yeah. And cause my job was, I was working at the mall, at a clothing store. Yeah. And I remember getting into this big argument with my boss, and he ended up body slamming me out the fucking store.
What?
Yeah.
What the fuck? Cause you're a manager?
Yeah, my manager.
And you were like a high school kid?
I was 18 or I was 17, about to turn 18.
That's fucked up.
Man.
Why did he body slam you?
Because I was hella You know what it is I just think that it was one of them situations where it was like, because he wasn't that much older than me. Maybe I was 18 and maybe he was like 20. Yeah. But he was huge. Like, I don't know, this nigga, he had to have been like on the football team or something. Mm-hmm. But I remember like the people that owned the store was being shady. You know what I mean?
What store was this?
I forget the fucking name of the store, but it was one of those, like, it was just like an urban wear store.
Okay.
Know?
Journeys?
No, it wasn't a chain. It was like a local place. But I remember coming in for my paycheck and they didn't have the checks. And this was a regular thing. Like they didn't have the checks. The owner was there, but they didn't have the checks. And then he asked me to work. He was like, hey, well, can you stick around and you know,
fuck no,
or whatever. And I was like, no, nigga. And the thing is, I was tired of this happening every week.
Yeah, good for you.
And I was like, no, nigga, I want my motherfucking check, like right the fuck now. But see, here's the thing with my era, right? Is that, you know, and I don't know what my exact words were to him, but it was like, where I'm from is like, if you say certain shit if you say certain words to certain people, they gonna put hands on you. You know what I mean? Yeah. And it was like, because I forget what I said to him, but it was like I could tell he was under so much stress from dealing with this owner that whatever I said to him, like, pushed him over there. Because he couldn't take that out on him. He took it out on me. And the thing too is, he could have fucked me up, but he just threw me out the store and then walked back in because he was pissed. you know?
Yeah.
So it's like, to me, it was like, yeah, he threw me out the store, but it was also one of them things where it was like, he was so much stronger than me at the moment, because I'm a strong, like back then, I mean, I was a pretty big,
you look like a
dude.
strong guy.
Yeah, but this motherfucker, I mean, he threw me like I was nothing. Like, I mean, like
adrenaline too.
Like he didn't pick me up and like fall with me. He like literally threw my whole body.
Damn.
Like I was a child, you know what I mean? And it was like, that's one of them situations where, you know, when a motherfucker grab you and it's clear that like they're like 10 times stronger than you're like, I'm good. I don't want no part. Like, no matter how angry you are or whatever, he's like, I don't want no parts of this. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, because it wasn't that serious.
Yeah. So did you ever get paid?
Oh yeah. They mailed me my check
that's good.
Because I wasn't allowed at the store no more. But it was just one of them things like. And I don't even remember his name or nothing. I bet he remembers who I am. Like, he gonna see me on TV one day and be like, hey man, I fucked him up when I was. But that's the thing though, he didn't fuck me up, and he sure could have. It was literally nothing I could have done about it. Yeah. No, unless maybe hit him in the throat and like caught him in a soft spot or something. But it's like, you do that to a motherfucker and it don't work, and they gonna fucking kill you. You know?
Who knows what they're capable of, or like some crazy side people have that you wouldn't even guess that they have.
But at the same time, though, it's like, it's one of them things where like that might have been all he had, like, because I'm at that point in my life right now where it's like, I still got the strength and the moves, but I don't have the recovery. You know what I'm saying? It's like.
Yeah, you'll be done after like you throw.
Oh yeah, I'll throw like 10 punches or hit you with like 3 big joints, and then I'm like ready to go take a nap. You know. Yeah. Yeah, but I will slam the shit out of somebody. But I'm like, I don't want to fight people because I don't want to have to be sore for like a week.
Have you gotten into any crazy fights before?
Oh yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Any like really bad ones?
Where I got hurt real bad?
Yeah. Or you fuck someone up really bad?
No, I've never fucked nobody up real bad. I guess,
you don't seem like a fighter to me.
Yeah. It depends on who you asking when they knew me. You know? When I was a kid, I was a wild dude. Yeah. Yeah. When I was a teenager, yeah, I would fuck a motherfucker up quick.
Really?
Yeah.
I would have never imagined that. You seem like a gentle person to me.
I am now because I realize like I'm smart enough to have other problem solving skills other than violence. You know what I mean? Because usually with violence, you win the battle and lose the war. You know what I mean? You fuck somebody up and you win, but then you go to jail or they sue you or they cripple or, you know what I mean? Yeah. So
when you got caught with the weed, you went to jail?
Well, they arrested me, yeah.
Okay.
And then they let me go on my own recognizance, and I was like, damn. And then I had the shit pending, and then I went to the recruiter, and then the shit got magically dropped.
If you signed up for the Marines?
No, because that's illegal. They're not allowed to do that.
Okay.
But I'm pretty sure that's what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then, what happened? So then you signed up.
Then I left.
Where'd you go?
I went to Paris Island for boot camp.
Paris Island?
Yeah.
Where is that?
It's in it's off the coast of one of the Carolinas. I forget which. I think South Carolina. Yeah, it's off the coast of one of the Carolinas.
How long is boot camp?
For Marines, at least back then, I don't know what it is now, but it was 13 weeks.
And what is that, like 16-hour days or something?
It varies. Mm-hmm. But
was it hard?
It was hard for me. Some motherfuckers get done and they say it was fun.
Really?
But I think that's bullshit.
Yeah.
There's no way it was fun.
Yeah, but nothing about the word boot camp has ever been fun.
No, and it's like the Marine Corps takes pride in theirs being the hardest.
Okay.
Because the next longest boot camp, I think, is 9 weeks.
Yeah. I mean, 13 weeks is a long time.
Yeah, they do everything harder on purpose because they want to be the hardest,
Like what kind of shit?
It's mostly like it's constant physical shit, but you kind of get stronger and used to that stuff. But it's the psychological shit. Oh, where it's like it's just the whole thing is to like break you down and then build you back up. You know what I mean? So
I didn't know they did that.
Oh yeah, that's why every Marine gets out of boot camp thinking you ain't shit and they're the shit. because it's like they teach you like it's constantly being drilled in your head that like as a civilian you ain't shit, you ain't worthy of the title of Marine. You know what I mean? And then you get stomped down for feeling like shit, and then they start building you back up and teaching you how to be a Marine. And then when it's all over, they're like, now you worthy. You know. And
did you feel that change?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I bought in wholesale for like maybe a year and a half. I was all about it.
Right.
But it's all bullshit too. You know what I mean? It's
okay.
Like, all that honor and commitment and all that shit is nonsense.
Well, it teaches you structure.
Oh yeah, no. I got a lot of things from the Marine Corps that I needed, but mostly it was just stability. I just needed
place to be, and
I needed somewhere that I wasn't allowed to give up. And I wasn't allowed to make excuses.
Yeah. Because there's no excuses allowed, obviously.
Right. It's nobody that feels sorry for you. No one cares that you're having a bad day or a hard time. It's just one of them things where you have to get things done. So, I needed it. I needed that.
So after boot camp, what happens?
Then you go. Well, then I went home to recruit because you get like I forget what you get. You get an extra week of home vacation if you agree to help your recruiter. So basically it's like they want you to go back to your high school and go, look what I did, guys. Look, I've been in the best shape of my life. You know what I mean?
Was that weird? Like going to your high? Okay.
Nope.
Okay. Because you felt good.
No, I was just like because I was a foster kid, so like I didn't have an allegiance to any high school. Yeah. So I was just like, okay, yeah, I'll go wherever and talk to any of these kids.
Oh, not your high school though.
Well, that's what it normally is.
Okay.
But for me, it was like I only went to this high school for like 9 months. Like I don't know these people.
Oh, right. Okay, yeah.
But and then after that is combat training. If you're not a grunt, it's combat training, which I wasn't. And then they teach you how to throw grenades.
Whoa, really?
Yeah, they teach you
lit ones, like ones that explode, or no?
You throw. I think you end up throwing 1 or 2 or 3.
Damn,
real ones.
Like how to throw off the clip, right?
Right, like how to pull the pin
and
how much time you have after you do that.
How much time do you have?
Fuck, I want to say 5 seconds.
That's scary.
Well, yeah, but it's 5 seconds after. So when you pull the pin, there's still a
like a safety clip,
right? And as long as so you're holding that, and when you pull the pin, the timer doesn't start till you let go of that. So it basically the timer don't start till it comes out of your hand.
Okay.
But what happens a lot of times is people will drop it
because they're like nervous and full of adrenaline.
As a matter of fact, it might be 3 seconds, but I'm pretty sure it was 5. But I don't think it's. As a matter of fact, hold on. I think it's an inconsistent amount, so it's anywhere from a few seconds to like 5 or 6 seconds. But I don't remember exactly. I don't know, because that's the only time I ever had my hands on a grenade.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
but did you throw one that actually like exploded, or were they? Is it a big explosion?
I don't know because you don't get to see it.
Oh.
Because so for non-grunts, combat training is run by what's the word for like people that are not disgruntled. What's the word for people that are like disgraced? So yeah, it's run by like disgraced grunts. So grunts
what is a grunt?
A grunt is an infantry, like a trigger person that like all they do is shoot people. Like that's their whole job. Because every Marine is a rifleman. That's their whole thing. And so every Marine has to learn how to shoot and has to have a weapon and all that. But every Marine doesn't fight. That's not their job. Like I was a technician. I still had to walk around with a loaded. What
kind of technician?
With a loaded rifle. I was a radar technician. I wasn't a radar technician technically, but yeah, I was in a radar platoon, and I was maintenance for some of the equipment.
Like guns with lasers?
No,
I don't know anything about this.
So we had a radar that that connected to a van that had these screens in it.
Like the
right, and it was like right like that, but except so it was my unit. We were basically air traffic control, except not for takeoff and landing, but for combat, for air combat. So
where were you? Where'd you go?
Where did I go?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Like when you were serving.
Oh, I was stationed in San Diego.
Stationed.
And I got the so after that combat training, I went to 29 Palms, which is a shithole. It's the middle of the desert to train for my actual job, which was the maintenance thing. And then from 29 Palms, I got stationed in San Diego, and then I got deployed to Iraq twice.
So how long were you there for?
Iraq?
Yeah.
Well, I was I was there in 2003, like when we didn't know if we was going to war or not. So we were all waiting in Kuwait, waiting to see if we would go to war so we could cross the border. You know what I mean?
Whoa.
So I was in Kuwait for maybe, I don't even know, maybe a month, maybe.
And what was the vibe like? Like between you guys, were you anxious?
The vibe was very casual because I think there was this general feeling of, oh, we're not going to war. You know what I mean?
Really?
Yeah, because I mean that's how most people felt at the time. Like it was like
2 years after 9/11, though. It wasn't that like during the hunt for the fucking
weapons of mass destruction.
I can't even remember what his name is now. The guy who was in the cave.
Osama bin Laden.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I guess that's debatable, but because we initially went to Afghanistan, and then the war somehow
ended up in a different country,
right? In a country that's like far the fuck away too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we ended up in Iraq, and I don't even remember exactly how that happened. Maybe America doesn't even remember, right?
Right.
but it was this whole debate about whether we were going to cross that border, and I just remember making all these bets, and you know, I never paid nobody though. That's crazy. Actually, no, that's not true. It was one dude that bet everybody that we would go.
Because some people are like excited to like.
I was never one of those people.
I wouldn't be either.
No, because some people want glory, you know. They want, and I just didn't want that because I didn't join for that. Like I joined in March. I was just trying to get some college money and get the fuck out of my neighborhood and get out of foster care and make my own decisions. You know, I was trying to get,
a new life.
Yeah,
which is like the whole thing they kind of promise you, right? In a way.
Yeah, I mean,
like how to start
at least a free education.
Yeah,
even though that turned out to not really be as good as they claim. But then it's like I didn't ever want to go to war. I didn't volunteer for anything dangerous. I wasn't trying to get no glory. You know, I didn't give a fuck about none of that. I was just trying to make it home.
Did they ask, like, does anyone want to volunteer to like do this really like crazy mission?
I mean, not in those words. But they did ask for volunteers a lot. But the thing is, the reason they asked for volunteers is because everyone that had been there, you know, that been in the Marine Corps for a few years knows not to volunteer for shit. You know what I mean?
Why is that?
Because there's always going to be some bullshit. Nobody's asking for volunteers for some good shit. You know what I mean? So they ask for volunteers, and it ensures that the new people go do the dumb shit, you know, because they don't know better. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because that's a lesson you have to learn on your own.
So even though you were working as a maintenance person and you weren't like out, I don't know what the terms are, on like battlegrounds, is that?
In theater, I don't know. Yeah,
in
whatever the term is. Yeah.
Okay. Did you suffer from PTSD from any of your experience, like having to be over there?
Well, the thing is, too, is so on my second deployment, we actually didn't even bring our gear. We were security forces for the airbase, so we were on these little things, and I'm pretty sure I had PTSD from
Yeah.
being a child. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I don't know if my being in the Marine Corps probably didn't make it better.
Mm-hmm. But it's interesting. It's like, I don't know if you had a chaotic upbringing, but it's kind of like we try to recreate those things as an adult because that's what we're like comfortable with. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like,
because the thing is too is we had on my second go we had a situation where it was like every other day there was people they would shoot like rocket propelled grenades over the fence and
at you guys,
right, like at our base, but it was like after a while you just get so used to the explosions that it's like it's nothing.
The noise, and at first it's like scary.
At first it's like, oh shit, we're gonna die. You know? And somebody's gonna die, and then nobody dies, and then nobody dies tomorrow, and then nobody dies, Friday.
And then you're like, fuck them.
And they're like, yeah, because you realize like, oh, these guys are so ill prepared, like they can't aim these things. They just shoot. Because it's weird that they only ever hit. They killed one person the whole time I was there because they hit the gas. They hit a gas depot or whatever. But it was like they never hit nobody. They was just because the thing is, if they got too close, they would get fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
So they had to. They didn't have like the proper delivery systems. They were riding the back of pickup trucks with PVC pipe trying to launch these grenades, these rocket propelled grenades, without the proper like guidance and all that other shit. So they would have to drive up and do it real quick on the move and then take off, because if they got to a certain distance, they were gonna get fucked up.
Right.
And even then, it's like if it was a helicopter in the air, they was gonna die. You know what I mean? So and it was like, and sometimes we go like 4 or 5 days without one, and then it would just be just out of loop. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's scary.
That's the thing though. It's scary. It was scary at first,
but then you got numb to it.
Everyone did.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that makes sense.
By the time we left, like the last like 15 or 20 times it happened, people would just be because you have to gather so they can count you and make sure no one's dead.
Yeah.
And everyone would just be,
texting.
No, not text, because we didn't have cell phones. But everybody had like, somebody had. I had a Game Boy.
Yeah.
I was on my Game Boy. Somebody else was like, they were just being real casual, eating a sandwich, just like, when we gonna get this over with so we can go back to what we was doing. You know what I mean? What
was the scariest or craziest thing that happened over there?
Ooh, the scariest thing that happened to me. I don't know. That's hard to say. Like, maybe the first night I was there before we were situated or whatever, and we had, and before there had ever been a attack, and we had a RPG attack while I was asleep. Everyone was asleep, and then you just wake up to like explosions. And the thing is, you don't just hear them, but you feel them, and it feels like it's everywhere. Like you can't tell where it's
like
coming.
An earthquake feeling almost.
Yeah, like an earthquake, but there's a sound with it too, and it feels like it's coming from every direction.
Yeah, that's terrible. And I imagine on your first night, you're like, "What the fuck is the rest of my time?"
You dead ass asleep, and you just like, oh, and you wake up and everybody's panicking, and it's dark in the tent, and people are just reaching for their shit, and. So that happened. And in my first deployment, we had a situation where it was like we thought we were being, or we had to assume that we were being gassed whenever we detected things. That's another thing. My unit was there to detect missiles that were fired. Right. So it was like whenever there was a missile launch, this was in the first wave, we had to assume that it had like weapons of mass destruction. So we had to put on all our fucking gas mask and whole suit to like keep you from dying from VX gas or whatever he had going on. And I remember the first time because we would do all these drills, and I remember the first time they told us it was for real, and then the alarm went off, and it was like, oh shit, like what if this motherfucker don't seal it up right? Like what if it turns
How do you know it doesn't get in?
Well, you go to the gas chamber.
Yeah.
You practice with your mask, but still, you don't know if that shit gonna work against whatever the fuck they got. You don't know, if your seal correct. Maybe it was damaged. Whatever. It's
Of course,
because you just don't have the time to. You don't have the time or the resources to to really know.
Yeah.
No.
There's no way to really know with any of that stuff. I'm sure.
I don't think they test them shits. I don't think they know at all.
Right.
No. No. To them, they like, well, who can do this for the cheapest? All right, we need 100,000 gas masks.
So then, after that, you came back to San Diego.
After that, so yeah, my first appointment, I was there for maybe 6 months, and then we came back to San Diego, and then we went again for I think 11 months.
Were you bummed about going back?
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, but you have to.
I had to, yeah, because they asked for volunteers at first, and then they didn't get enough volunteers, and they made everybody go.
Yeah. Damn.
Yeah. And I was trying to tell these little motherfuckers, I was like, yo, y'all don't want to go. Because it was by that time, it was we had a bunch of new people that had not been deployed. And all
they should go.
All the people that went, no, I was trying to tell them not to go. I was like, yo, you want all this glory. You making extra money because you're not paying taxes. Plus you getting combat pay and all this. But it's like, bruh, it sucks, bro. You don't want to be over there. The food suck. The temperatures suck. It's nothing to do. You bored out your fucking mind. And it's hard to adjust back to the real world when you get back,
What was that like?
Well, it's just, because the one thing that is there is you get used to this simplicity, where it's every day you wear the same thing. All you got to worry about is eating and going and doing your job. You don't got to do nothing else. You ain't got to think about bills. You ain't got to think about your family. You do, but you know what I'm saying? You're not responsible for none of that. All that's being taken care of.
I think some people like that too.
Well, yeah, some people
like things being very simple and easy, from that.
Some people get addicted to that, but then it's they also want their regular life back. But then they get back into their regular life, and then they don't know how to. It's like I love my wife, I love my kids, I love my family, but I also prefer when I didn't have to think about any of this, and it's just what's the word? Dissonance,
Yeah, disassociation.
Yeah, it's it's just the two things that just they conflict, but you hold two conflicting ideals at the same time.
Yeah. Is it true that when you come back and you hear noises, did you
PTSD? No, because that's a misconception that people.
Okay, that's something in movies.
No, because the thing is, PTSD is often associated with combat, right, or associated with war, but it's veterans don't have a monopoly on PTSD because PTSD is from trauma. That's what the T's for, right? And you can be traumatized from other. It's women because women weren't allowed to fight when I was in, but it's women that have PTSD because they were sexually assaulted. It's people that have PTSD because they thought their friend was dead.
Right.
It's people that have PTSD because they walked up on dead bodies and just seen a bunch of chunks of people, unexpectedly. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And the thing too is not everybody reacts to that shit the same. As a matter of fact, I think the people most likely to have PTSD, which are the grunts, again, the infantrymen, they're the hardest ones to convince to go get help. Because, the Marine Corps especially there's this a shame involved with going to seek any kind of mental health.
Really?
Oh yeah, even actually anything.
Oh, because it's you're weak and it goes against
anything that people can't see is wrong with you. You'll be shamed for going to get help about it. So there becomes this ethic of people trying to say they're fine, even though they're not. Mm-hmm. And I watched it when I was in that shelter for 2 years. And it's only for Iraq and Afghanistan veterans, right?
Yeah.
So everyone's my age. Everybody has similar issues and all that. And I've watched, whenever it was a hardcore combat person that come in there, they would always be shitting on everybody at first. You fucking pussies. You know, y'all sitting around talking about your problems and all this. And it's like, and meanwhile, it's like because we've been sitting in these group therapy sessions learning about these disorders and stuff. And you can see them displaying all the symptoms.
Yeah.
While at the same time denying that anything's wrong with them. You know, but I've seen people, like, over time, I've seen them transform. Like, you see them, like, the first few months they're there, they're very, like, you know, resistant because they don't want to, you know, it's like their ethic. They just can't, they don't want to look at themselves as a piece of shit, and they look at people that cry to the medical as pieces of shit. So it's like they can't get that out their head. But after a while, they realize, like, yo, the VA ain't on your motherfucking side. You know what I mean? You're going to have a hard enough time getting the things you think they owe you and getting the help you need. If you ain't asking for it, if you ain't fighting for it, you ain't going to get shit from them. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and eventually you see them being in the room with people talking about shit that they never have talked about, and it kind of makes, and then one day out of the blue, like 6 months later, they'll reveal some heavy shit, and you're like, oh wow, and you see them make a breakthrough, boom, just like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they never talk about what's wrong. They never talk about the shit they see, the shit they dream about, why they can't sleep, you know, why they uncomfortable in crowds, why they, you know, they don't ever bring it up. They've never been in a group of veterans that talk about it, you know.
I love that they have the group therapy there, and that's available for everyone to go to.
Well,
that's I think that's, like, so important.
It is nice. I wish they ran it better. I mean, they probably do now because I haven't been there since I moved out, maybe, but I'm pretty sure it's better now because it's run by a good person. But when my first, like, year there, the guy that was running it was actually, I'm pretty sure he was embezzling funds, and it turns out he was on meth.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and it was like, because when I first got there, it was like, why don't we have, you know, the basic shit in this motherfucker, like, because they get money from the VA, so. Mm-hmm. And it's a certain amount of money. So it's like, you know, like, they got at least this much money, and they sure the fuck ain't spending it in here. You know, and then it turns out the dude was on meth, and then we get a new guy in there, and all of a sudden, you know, they buying things that the place needs, you know?
Yeah.
Like cleaning supplies, like, you know, bought everybody new mattresses, you know, got
toilet brushes.
Yeah, toilet brushes. Got the exterminator to get rid of the bugs and shit. Got, you know, got actually decent food instead of fucking bullshit. Like, yeah, that's the stuff they're supposed to be doing.
Right.
You know?
So when did you start thinking about wanting to do stand-up? Had you always wanted to do it, or?
Nope.
Okay.
I didn't want to do it, and then...
you never thought about it during any of that time?
Yeah, I thought about it when I was in the Marine Corps. People were telling me I should.
Because you were funny, obviously.
Yeah, but I wasn't funny. You know, it was like, as a kid, I was always very serious. So it was weird to me that people thought I was funny.
But you have interesting thoughts.
Right. It was like, whenever I would get a laugh, it would be during a tense moment, and I would say what I was really thinking, and everyone would laugh. And I'd be like, I wasn't trying to make a joke. Like, sometimes I would get in trouble because they would think I was joking. You know, and I was like, I was just saying with the truth.
Yeah.
But the truth is funny sometimes, right? And then people started telling me I should try stand up, or when I complained, it would be funny. But before that, I was never thought I was a funny person. As a matter of fact, a lot of people in my family, they still don't believe that I'm a stand up.
Really?
Oh yeah, because I was a very serious person.
But you seem like very observational.
Yeah, I've always been that. But
you look at things in a different way, I think, than normal people. Because you know, I just know based off, like, you have interesting thoughts.
Yeah.
So I'm sure, you know, not everyone is like that.
I know, yeah, that's true.
Most people don't, like, see things that comics see and, like, have the same thoughts as us, or observing things or noticing. A lot of people don't have awareness.
Right.
You know? I don't think any comic can have a lack of awareness.
A lot of people don't have a perspective.
Yeah.
At least they don't have a perspective that's anywhere outside of the norm, you know. But yeah, you're right. But I was scared, so I never did it. This was like 2002, 2003. People started telling me to do stand up, and then I remember going to see Dom Herrera
Is that the first guy you saw?
That was the first person I saw
Yeah.
live. Yeah.
Mine was Attell.
He was so fucking good. Oh my God. And then I went home and wrote a joke.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
I love that.
And I was thinking about it and thinking, but it was like I knew that I couldn't do it without everyone knowing, and I didn't. And I was so afraid to not live up to those expectations that I just didn't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't do it all the way till 2011.
Did you ever do the joke on stage?
Oh yeah, it's one of my closers.
Dude, one of my jokes that I wrote before when I didn't even do stand up is one of my jokes that I do today that like people love.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it wasn't great when I wrote it, but it's good.
Isn't that
now.
funny?
Yeah.
I look back on some of the like early stuff I wrote in notebooks, and some of that shit is funny. And I take it back. Like I go through old notebooks when I'm like trying to find some new stuff.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Because you know what? Because the thing is, you're better at. You're
almost like thinking a lot harder early on.
Well, I would say it's easier because I think after a while your brain becomes like this machine.
Yeah.
And it's just a better machine now. Because I've had jokes that I've written 3-4 years ago and they never work, but I don't throw shit away. And then I'm going back through my list and I'm like, and I try it and it works.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I had that joke about punching women.
I forgot
You
it.
ever heard it? Well, it doesn't matter. But the point is that I tried that like 3 or 4 years ago, and it just would not get anything. And now it's like I started doing it again like 6 months ago, and now it's one of my best jokes.
Yeah.
And it's like, and I think it's just, I don't know if it's comedy shifting or if I'm better at it or whatever.
The way you deliver it, whatever you have underneath it.
Yeah, because I think you just have to build that confidence in comedy where you go from sort of asking the audience's permission.
Yeah,
like,
you don't.
Is it okay that I think this?
No, you're going to tell them what's funny.
It's like, no, this is what I think. And like, you can feel have about it like whatever you want to,
Yeah. So all of that like life experience before you started doing stand-up, when you started doing stand-up, were you nervous? And if you were you like, I've been through so much shit, like that doesn't even compare to this. Like this is just, do you know what I mean? Like how stand-up could feel like not as nerve-wracking compared to everything else.
Yeah, I mean, I don't get nerves that much.
Yeah.
I mean, and I know like some people, I've heard people say if you're not nervous, then you don't care or whatever. It's like, I don't think that's true. Mm-hmm. I think if you're not nervous, then maybe you don't care or maybe you're just prepared.
Yeah.
I'm not. I mean, and maybe that's not an accurate way to put it. Like, it's not that I don't get nervous about stand-up. Like, I don't get nervous about stand-up itself, like about performing. You know what I mean? My nerves all go away once I start talking. Like once I'm on the stage and it started, because all my anxiety comes from like I want to go out there.
Yes.
Start. I just want to get the beginning out the way.
Totally, I have that.
So I just want to go do it because I was nervous up until I knew I was good at it. Mm-hmm. When I was still doing jokes and they would be hit or miss, or I would have decent sets sometimes and good sets every once in a blue moon. Yeah, I was nervous because I was like, am I good at this? How's this going to go? If I wasted my life by choosing this career, but now it's like I know I'm good at it, and I feel like Hollywood will beat you down so much that you kind of have to like build yourself up constantly. Just trying to be in this industry and like constantly getting rejected and constantly being critiqued and evaluated in these weird ways that aren't your talent that they're evaluating. They're like, oh, you could lose a few pounds. You could.
Did I ask?
Right. Or, do you think maybe you can, just whatever it is. It's like you have to fight back against that feeling of like inadequacy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, Brian, I think that's a good place to shut it down.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming. Where can people find you on social media?
I'm BS Comedian on Instagram. And that's really the only one that matters.
And see you at the store
Yeah,
and any
you
other.
see me at the store, the Improv, I'll be opening for Tom Segura.
Hell yeah.
On May 18th or May 17th in Riverside and 18th in Vegas.
Hell yeah.
If you want to buy tickets to them shits, they probably already sold out though.
That's sick.
Yeah.
That's going to be awesome.
Yeah. I don't think he needs me to help promote.
You never know. You know, some people come out to see you.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man. I forgot my friends. I'm opening for Taylor Tomlinson next weekend in San Diego.
Great. At where?
At the La Jolla Comedy Store.
Oh, perfect. I love performing there.
Oh, yeah.
It's the best. The audience is incredible.
I just love the condo. I hope she lets me use it.
And they redid it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I've never stayed in it when it wasn't.
You have to ride the bikes.
The bikes?
But they have bicycles, and I've taken them out before. Polly's like, no one ever takes the bicycles out.
What bicycles?
There's bicycles there at the condo.
Where?
Yeah, you can ride them along the board inside.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Man, I don't know how I missed that. Are they hanging on the wall or something?
I forgot. They were just there. Yeah, maybe they are on the wall.
Okay. No, well, I've only been there after the remodel, so I've just only experienced the luxury.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so nice. Yeah.
I love it. All right, cool. Well, thank you. And then, guys, check out Brian. And thank you guys for listening. Make sure you subscribe, rate, and review on iTunes. Thanks. Bye.